Hello everyone, this is a short video tutorial on how to effectively configure dynamic bone settings in Unity for use in VRChat specifically. So as an example, I have a little mouse avatar. This avatar has some bones on its tail that I would like to set up with dynamic bones so that the tail swings around. I have heard people talking in the past about how dynamic bones are really hard to configure properly, specifically to get the physics working, because by default you can't see dynamic bones being applied. So here's my tailbone, and I'm going to add dynamic bone. I'm going to set the root of the dynamic bone to the tail, and it has all these settings and I have no idea what that looks like. I move my mouse around and it doesn't show me. So the best way to view that without having to get into the VRChat, just uploading it and checking it in World, it's a very time-consuming process. Instead, just click play, go back to your scene view, and move your avatar around, and it gives you an idea of how the physics are going to work. You can set these dynamic bones to any settings you want and see how that looks. But remember, if you're ever in play mode like this, any settings that you set for any component, they will not last. So if you want settings to be permanent, then you will have to edit them in this editor mode. However, one of the really handy things about the way the components can be configured is, first of all, I'm going to lock my window here so that I can move my mouse around here, but then still set the dynamic bone component here. So I'm gonna start fiddling with the settings here. Okay, change the damping. That's sort of what I want. Sure. Elasticity, what happens there? Oh, there's nothing. I kind of want to go back down. Great. Okay, that's looking good. Stiffness, I'm sure I don't necessarily, oh, that's not too bad. Inert, and full disclosure, I don't know entirely the specifics of how these sliders affect the physics, but I really don't need to because I can just change it and check it out. This is looking pretty good, I feel like, but because I'm in play mode, if I go back to editor mode, these values will be lost. So instead of doing that, I want to go here, I want to copy component, and then I will go back to editor mode. Boom, all of my settings are gone. But what's this? I can go back into this and I select paste component values. And my values here are back to the settings that I want. So if I go back into play mode, back to scene, aha, they're still that way. So this is a good way to set up dynamic bones. You can go a little further with it if you'd like to get the best idea of what your natural avatar movement will look like. Now, and this works the best if you have the VRC SDK installed in your project, because the VRC SDK has something called the Simple Avatar Controller. So you're going to go into your avatar's animator, select the Simple Avatar Controller, just double click on that, and you can see that your avatar is now in a different pose. She's idling here. And this avatar controller is controlled with this animator layer and with something called a blend tree. This blend tree blends different movements together to create seamless animation between them, and you can control the animation that your character has. So what I did is I went into animator, I went to the animation layer, I clicked on blend tree, and I double clicked on blend tree up here. And here I have this little red dot. If you move the red dot around to the different blending modes, you can see what walking looks like. I haven't figured out a way to get running working, but walking is there, and so you can see, I mean, most VRChat movement is running. So if you can get an animator controller applied that has running, then that might be even more useful to you. But I can kind of follow her around and see. There's some subtle movement in her tail there. So I have my dynamic bones all set up, and I am basically ready to upload. Let me know in the comments if you have any further questions, and thanks for watching.